In this activity, you're going to use sugar cubes in an experiment to see what happens as rocks tumble down a mountain. Let me explain. In your class discussion, you did something that scientists do all the time. You talked about how you can experiment to figure something out. How could you figure out what happens to a rock when it tumbles downhill? What are some things you could do? Maybe you thought about comparing the rocks that you find up here to the ones that you find down here after they roll down. That would let you see if the rocks at the bottom were different from the ones at the top. But it would be nice to see what actually happens as the rocks are rolling down. Well then, maybe you could experiment by rolling real rocks down the side of a mountain, like this. That looks like fun. It would be a lot of work. You'd have to find a mountain, you'd have to climb to the top, and it might be dangerous for anyone down below. This doesn't seem like the greatest idea. So maybe you thought about putting rocks in a can and then shaking them so that they bounce around, just like rocks rolling downhill. That's a great idea. We'll do something like that in class today. Except instead of using real rocks, we're going to use these, sugar cubes. Sugar cubes are hard like rocks, and they have sharp corners and edges, just like the rocks you'd find at the top of a mountain. So we'll see what happens to them after a little bit of shaking, and then after a whole lot of shaking. Are you ready to start the activity?